Racism is, as defined by the Oxford English Dictionary, a theory or belief that an individual's worth, quality, and capability are defined by their race. It is a notion that racial differences would establish inferiority or superiority towards a certain racial group in a community. Some people still believe that racism is an individual bias and fail to see systems as racist. Meanwhile, those systems continuously generate unjust and discriminatory behavior towards certain or minority ethnicities. For example, this treatment has been going on for a long time in America towards black people. Racism towards black people dated way back in America's history and is still happening until this day. In 2019 and 2020, the movement Black Lives Matter increased in number and grew urgent, especially after the death of George Floyd in the hands of police brutality. Acts of racism could happen anywhere and towards any race. In Indonesia, this sort of treatment and behavior are also happening. One of them are towards the Chinese ethnicity.
At a Transjakarta Senayan stop Friday night, August 26, 2016, a man of a Chinese descent, Andrew, admitted that he was beaten by a number of men. Not only was Andrew beaten, Andrew was yelled at and insulted with condescending words, which shows a symptom of racist hatred. He was also accused of being a hawk, the nickname of Governor of DKI Jakarta, Basuki Tahaja Purnama, who is also of Chinese descent.
Chinese ethnicity has been known as one of the ethnicity in Indonesia that has been getting a lot of hate from other people. This all started from the conflict between pribumi and non-pribumi. Pribumi thinks that they deserve the right, they have the most right, they have the utmost right to live in Indonesia and enjoy what's inside of Indonesia rather than the non-pribumi. This conflict has gone along the way since long ago. Even though the conflict is maybe over, but it is already rooted inside the people of Indonesia, which makes racism alive until now. It is a devastating fact to know that people are still being racist against Chinese ethnicity.
Even though the riot had occurred more than 20 years ago, the trauma of incident is very lasting. Responding, both Chinese still remember with feeling of anger and fear when imagining the May 1998 riots. Research shows memories of bad experience in the past are difficult to forget because there is stimulus that can retrieve memories about the incident.
There are a lot of examples of racism acts against Chinese ethnicity that we can talk about, and most of them will be so devastating because a lot of people, innocent people, have to die because of these racists. For example, the attack on Solo in 1825 led by Raden Ayuda Kusuma. And then later on in 1912 there was another attack in Solo, even though it's from the other people. And then later on in 1919 there was an attack in Kudus. And then the one that we know most, the one that we know best, is in 1997 that happened in Bandung and 1998 that happened in Jakarta. These all happened in the past, but the recently act about these racism is from the COVID itself. The COVID has made it far worse for the Chinese ethnicity because people are calling those with Chinese ethnicity as viruses.
The Indonesian government has determined its laws and regulations regarding this issue. The Law No. 40 of 2008 on the elimination of racial and ethnic discrimination was established to achieve togetherness, peace, equality, and security amongst the people as stated in Article 3 of the law. Not only that, but other laws and regulations also have elements of anti-discrimination in them, especially in means of livelihood and workplace, such as labor law, Law No. 21 of 1999, Law No. 80 of 1957, etc. Ever since the rule of Megawati in 2001, the anti-discrimination movement increased. Chinese ethnicity gained their cultural rights by being able to celebrate Chinese New Year as a national holiday and have freedom to engage in public celebrations, and also gained their legal rights when President Megawati issued that Surat Bukti Kewarganegaraan Republik Indonesia, or SBKRI, is no longer needed for Chinese Indonesian applicants. But it is not only the government that has to make an effort to diminish acts of racism. The people also have to have knowledge and spread awareness regarding this issue. Racism is an important issue. We see it happening a lot in the world, in other countries, but we can't disregard the fact that the same thing is also happening in our own country, no matter how small. Acts of racism could tear apart the unity of our nation, especially with Indonesia being a country of various cultures and differences. Having knowledge and spreading awareness about racism is an important task, not only for the government, but for the people as well. Tolerance and appreciation towards each other is key to togetherness and unity among us. We, as the people of Indonesia, should implement and truly enact multiculturalism and live in harmony with each other. It is time for us to take a stand.
Let's uphold tolerance among us.
Preserve the unity of our nation.
And stop racism.